1941, a state of war.
What General Nagant had called the Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills.
Hey guys and gals, this is Alden at themossandcrate.com, and I wanted to give you a look at two unique 1895 Nagant revolvers. And I should go ahead and point out from here on out, I'm going to call it the Nagant revolver, just like I'm going to say Moss and Nagant rather than Mosey and Nagant. I just don't feel comfortable saying it the correct way because I'm not a native speaker, and it just kind of comes across as douchebaggery if I say it that way. Same reason I don't say Mexico or Tejas. I just sounds wrong to me to be said, at least by me. So anyhow, 1895 Nagant revolver. We've got an 1897 dated here. And then we have a 1898 dated. So the next year. Tula, 1895, made in Russia. And the neat thing about this is this pretty much marks the Belgian production, and this marks the beginning of the Russian production. And this one is actually 4,193rd Nagant revolver out of over 2 million that was ever made. The Belgians made 20,000 of these under contract for the Russians because the Russians were so busy with their M91 Moss and Nagant rifles that they were building that for whatever reason they either just didn't have the time, tooling, or resources, or maybe all three, to start building the 1895. So this is one of those contract revolvers. And let me flip it over here so you can see the proof markings on the side. A lot of these markings are just refurbishment markings because this has been refurbished many times over the years. And the communists managed to leave this imperial marking here at the tip of my thumb over the years. They didn't manage to buff that one off, which in many cases is what they like to do. And I'll show you what this Liège marking looked like when it was originally there, but like I said, it was refurbished, so a lot of those markings are probably just worn off other than the date. But in 1898, which was actually the last year of production for the contract, they switched over to Russia production. And this one is the first year of production, made at Tula in 1898. Ischef's did produce Nagant revolvers, obviously, but it wasn't until much later. So Tula pretty much was the sole maker of Nagant revolvers for a while, or at least to my knowledge. And this is serial number 1147. So this is one of the first 1,200 ever made in Russia. And amazingly, the Imperial Tula factory marking was not removed, which, like I said, the communists love to do later on, especially during refurbishment. And unfortunately, it is import marked. But it's pretty cool to see something that lasted this long. Speaking of lasted this long, the Belgian contract revolvers are exceedingly rare, not just because only 20,000 were made, but because the parts are not interchangeable between the two. They look identical, but I'm not sure if it's sizing or what I guess it would have to be sizing, but they're not interchangeable. So what would happen in the field is if a part broke on one of these, pretty much just they tossed the revolver. It was destroyed, melted down, just tossed to the side because they didn't have replacement parts for it. So to find one of the original 20,000 is exceptionally rare. I have never seen one that has been import marked and refurbished like this. It just amazes me that this thing, I'm not sure if someone made the parts fit with this one or how exactly that worked, because I'm sure most of these parts aren't the original parts. The cylinder matches, but it's a refurbished cylinder. I'm not sure if it's the original cylinder or not. But how cool is that? And then to have an 1898, the first year of Russian production. So these things are being 1895 Nagant revolvers. They shoot 7.62 by 38, and they are known for their horrendous, I mean, it's horrible, double action. Originally, most of these would have, man, that's bad. But the nice thing about these is their single action is equally as horrendous. So really, there's nothing fantastic about the trigger on 1895 at all. Some of them are a little bit better than others, like this one here. And I know there's some people who are like, don't dry fire it. I've never, I'm not going to sit here and dry fire it all day, but I think for demonstration purposes, it's worth doing. Anyhow, yeah, they originally, a lot of these would have been single action only. I think the single action only went to enlisted, and then the double action and single action, or the ones with double action, went to officers, if I remember right. But anyhow, yeah, there's not really much more than I can say. But how often do you see antique 1895 revolvers? I just thought that was too cool not to post up a video about. I may or may not sell one of these eventually. I probably am going to have to sell one of them far sooner than later. I'm leaning towards keeping the 1898. I just think that is too cool. First year Tula, first year Russian production of 1895. If I sold one, it'd probably be the Liege mark. But anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys, and hopefully there will be some more videos like this where you can see some unique things you don't get to see every day. Thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button if you're new, and we'll catch you next time.